So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. Many have touted this to be the matchup to remember in the dual meets number 2, because we have some of the best players looking to face off against each other. Our defending champions, Sinos and Papibski of HD Gaming versus the up-and-comers, high rank, Flow is the key, and Nux of Team NoName. Now, it's a pretty long story already. Sinos, one of the greatest veterans we've ever seen in SC2, representing the Philippines here and there, amassed of aircraft, especially for the Terran race. And then Papibski, his partner in crime, really complimenting as much as he can on that Zerg. An old gun at the same time, one of the more impressive players as well back in those days. And when you put these two together, they are looking high def and they're looking pretty much refurbished and good to go. In the meantime, though, between Flow is the key as well as Nas, you got these two great players looking to work together and just hand in hand get every single win that they can. When you look at this kind of team, when you look at these two players, you got Specs, and then you have Nux as well. Flow is the key. Been a long time. Examan has always been there to be a veteran of the scene, to be a really guiding light for many Protoss players, and I don't think Nux needs more explanation than that. A great player, if not within our top 2 in the Philippine scene. A lot of regional success here and there, winning of some of these mini tournaments here and there, and making a name for himself and getting better and better along the way. Signed on up by a more international org as well, really going to show that many appreciate what Nux can do, and we'll see if he can overpower the opposition with his skill level. Teamwork, making the dream work, but both of these teams, in all honesty, showing that their teamwork is so very stellar. But now, it's time for us to get into our first map, and of course, we'll be seeing the usual Rhoskallian LE map number 1. Many pick Rhoskallian because it's such a simple map. It's so easy to understand. You have one ramp for your naturals, you have one ramp for your mains, and that is that. Very easy to defend, very easy to work together. You guys spawn together anyway, and that's what you want to see. There are some maps that you can isolate one player and really hurt them where it counts. But for now, we will see what Rhoskallian can bring when 2 heads are better than 1. Will it be HD Gaming or will it be Team NoName to get that initial advantage? This is now going to be another incredible best of 3. And you already know that it is just going to be a great battle anyway. Rhoskallian Elite to start things off. I wonder what we'll get for the next ones, but now it's time for us to get into the game. Who will take it? Is it Team NoNames or is it Team HD Gaming moving on to tomorrow's grand finals? Tomorrow, everything gonna be live. Tomorrow, everything gonna be pretty much set in stone. And don't forget, last bit of that code gonna be exposed as well. But for now, let's get into the matchup. Let's get into the map and let's get into this game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. The matchup many have touted to be the best one that we can see so far into the bracket. I myself personally think that this is a matchup very much for the history books. This is a matchup to really remember, and I can't wait to get started. Introducing first, here on the top side of Rhoskallian LE, we got the red Zerg, Nux, and the orange Protoss, Flow is the key. In the meantime, here on the south side of Rhoskallian, we got the blue Terran, Sinos, and the yellow Zerg, Papibski. PNZ versus TNZ. So if Sinos and Papibski win it, we get a mirror matchup again for the grand finals. If not, we're gonna see the same matchup that we're seeing right now for the grand finals instead. Good to see. A lot of representation no matter what. And it's good to see a Protoss still alive in the running. But the Zergs have been such a stale point. And in 2v2, it's just so easy sometimes to just really rush down the opposition. And the Zerg can do that pretty well. Flow is the key though. Setting up the gateway here already onto the ramp. And Nux in the meantime, be going for his hatchery right here, right now. A lot of respect here from Nats. Goes for the hatchery first setup here and now. Just doesn't want to really try and cheese out the opposition like we see here from Sinos and Papibski. Anyway though, same thing here for Pavimsky. Hatchery first, and does go for the pool next. Xenos right now with the Reapers, and he's actually gonna go going for that aggressive play instead. Second barracks being built. Floki though gonna be able to see whatever's being built right now by Xenos right now. And this assimilator gonna be looking on over to really get in the way of that refinery. Now for Xenos, he's still okay to only have one refinery right now, but this will actually slow down this double pumped Reaper approach instead. So this is a pretty big hamper on whatever Xenos wants to do in terms of the aggression, and a good call there already from Floki to actually get in the way instead. Gateways though being built, Cybernetics core gonna be there as well. And you really see the difference now. Xenos has to go for the Marine instead to break it down. How many Reapers does our Blue Terran though have? 2 of them only, in fact. Scouting on the round though, seeing everything going on. And Floki, of course, going to be setting up that 1 core 2 gate setup to really just have something ready for what else is to come. Here we go again. Xenos just being a bit of a bother. Nuxo getting the queen in time. Everything is just ready and set up here for Team NoName. They're all good in the hood. They're all gonna have whatever they needed. Pavimsky right now gonna be helping out Xenos here get rid of the assimilator in the first place. SCV though building another barracks right now, and Xenos refusing to climb up that tech tree and gonna be going for the rushdown of units instead. We'll see though how this is gonna pan out. He's gonna be building his command center last right here right now, but it's still gonna be the SCV going for that one here. Pavimsky ready with his base already, but on the other side, it's not having that hatchery anyway in the first place, so Flo is the one who has to lag on behind on the macro side. Stalkers though, gonna get patrolled on over. Here comes Xenos getting this second base up and running. The question is, what is going to be planned here for Xenos? He is going to go for the reactor right now, and more Marines means more problems here for the opposition. Early step back as well by the 3.5-minute mark. And when we stop our eyes to see Xenos just go ham and go in with a big ball. In any case though, everything's still good here for Nux and Flow is the key. They're getting the tech that they need. They're even going for the Rove facility right now on the Protoss side. And Nux in the meantime, getting all the tech that he wants. Carapace plus well as metabolic boost. Third base being up and running as well. Creep spread right now on the left side. And basically for Nux, he's just trying to avoid the structures there of the Protoss. He doesn't want to help out Pavimsky in getting the surrounds onto pylons here and there, or getting the surrounds on a few instrumental units that Flow is the key needs coming into this one. In any case though, Overlord still scouting on the round and just getting about all the intel that they need so far. 3 bases over Pipsky as well. Floki right now gonna have the Stalkers inside the Warp Prism as well. And now this is gonna be Nux looking to march on forward. He brings in the initial wave of Zerglings, but still Xenos and Papipsky ready to defend so far. And as of yet, it's still Xenos playing that 3-rack setup. Finally though, he has the factory online getting the tech lab. He is going to go for that starport as well. And the engineering bay right now getting that +1 at the same time. But with step back going online, that is going to be a force to be reckoned with as Papipsky chasing down Nux as much as possible. Big surround might happen here between the two Zergling forces. And this is going to be the chase yet again. On the creep though, Nux going to be able to get that initial burst of speed. The Queen's going to be in position as well. Surrounds right now happening here and now. It looks like standard ZVC happening here. But this is going to be one cream almost falling down, but Nux going to be able to keep that one alive. The other one, though, does fall, and Papipsky still trying to chew on to those forces. As Papipsky's trying to harass Nux, he actually gets rid of some of these queens. Good pickups here from our yellow Zerg. And Papipsky gonna be saying, okay, at least I got rid of the queens before everything died there. But that was such a big investment as well from our yellow Zerg. This might be an opportunity right now for Nux to run on in and to punish in the same vein. Was it worth it? We'll find out, because it's still going to be reinforcements having to arrive. Floki right now, though, already playing with the Warp Prism, microing this one, and these Stalkers are looking to bounce onto a middle line instead. Warp Gate, though, the only thing Floki has, doesn't have the blink as of yet, but these Stalkers are very, very pesky, and look who's knocking on the doorstep of Xenos and Papipsky. Here comes Nux right now. Papipsky, though, gonna get some Zerglings back in the fold, and it's really just another brawl between these two forces. Xenos, though, forcing the Protoss on off. Papipsky with a chase down onto Nux, and what a back and forth we've seen so far. Big floods, big numbers, looking to duel again and again and again. And now for Xenos, Doesn't even matter if he is going to be getting that medevac. It's all up to the healing right now. Out of energy though, so this has to be our Blue Terran getting more to support these lines. In any case, Floki looking to build down to try and harass with Colossi instead. Still, these Stalkers being very, very pesky. And go for the one-step, two-step. Usually you see the Reaper is the one who uses the platform, but with Floki just microwing like this, the Warp Prism will keep everything alive, and Xenos can't really do anything about it in the first place. Papivsky, though, still cleaning up the house, trying to get rid of the Oversword here, as it's just Nux being so very pesky with that intel. Force fields, though, into play, forcing Papivsky to back on out, catching a few of those Zerglings yet again. Now this is looking to be a bit of a problem here, because as long as this game goes, Floki can get that critical mass of Protoss units rather, and of course here for Nux, you can really expect his macro to be absolutely on point. 61 workers right now for our Red Zerg. Papivsky only at 42, Xenos at 49, and Floki right now marching on in with the units that he would like. The Colossi, big supporting unit to get that AoE damage to really melt down these Zerglings, and here comes the flood from Nux already. Papivsky though bringing in the Banelings, and we've seen the clutch from Banelings happen before against Team NoName. This time though, it's not gonna happen. Force fields right now to protect the Stalkers instead, and these Marines can't really get on through, but eventually they clean up the south side of the force there. In any case though, still Floki and Nux going for the brawl, looking for the cleanup, and this hatchery getting hampered along the way. Xenos right now having his army, buying time for Papivsky to get these Blanings up and running. But speaking of the run right now, they're going over to the high ground, and Nux is harassing these forces as much as possible. This is Floki though, showing up his forces, showing up with whatever he has and more, and right now cleaning up a Berg and cleaning up the house. The Colossi right now in behind, melting everyone down, and that is gonna be the Banelings getting the smashes on as well. Xenos running out of army, Papivsky basically gonna get dried on up, and Floki knocking on the doorstep of Team HD Gaming. Will we see our defending champions be the crown this early already? This is only game number 1. From what we're seeing though from Team NoName, they're doing such an exceptional job. SCP is gonna get pulled already. This is gonna be Xenos trying to survive with everything he has and more. But the reinforcement cycles here from Flo is the key, keeping the pressure on. And now with Zealots into play, it's more about the Blades right now, getting the DPS. The Banelings are rolling on in, and can they get the smash down? They're trying to get closer and closer. They're already chasing after the workers there, and here comes Daks onto the main base. Can he blow everything up to Kingdom Come? He will take what he can and more, getting rid of the drones there, and that just might be it. Up the Xenos to try and defend. Papivsky calling it there, doesn't have the resources anymore to help on out, and Nux and Floki will take game number 1. And that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Nux and Floki able to get the army compositions they wanted, able to get the numbers that they wanted, and they take that win and more. Just the macro advantage there from Nux, allowing him to snowball. Great back and forth between him and Papivsky. But in the end, the sheer force of will that Team NoName gave us was something to really remember. Good call though from HD Gaming. They were really trying to defend one another. They're really trying to stall for time. And you can see for Xenos, he was so on point at getting those forces in the way. But in all honesty, just that one very annoying assimilator there from Flo is the key, really hurting whatever Xenos wanted to do. He tried to go for that Reaper Rush, he tried to just double pump those things out, and he even went for a triple rack setup, but without enough of that gas to really keep things up. It just didn't really pan out the way he would like. So victory right there for Team NoName. From the small things to the big things, they did everything right, and they took care of business there on Rhoskallian LE. So there you go, guys. Game number 1, done and dusted. Game number 2, gonna be Heavy Artillery LE next. And of course, this is a best of 3. But if HD Gaming loses this map, it will be Team NoName moving on to face off against Team Clement Rainer in the Grand Finals. If not, then we get a game number 3 in this amazing set already. Game number 1, a good indicator of what is to come, and we'll see if Xenos and Papivsky can go for the comeback, or will Nux and Flo is the key wrap things up. It's time for now us to get into the game, and let's get into the brawl, let's get into the action, and let's get into Heavy Artillery LE. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in Duel Meets number 2, semifinals number 2, map number 2. 2v2 action yet again, and you already know great things come in pairs. But introducing first, here on the southwest side of Heavy Artillery LE, we got the red Zerg of Nux, and the purple Protoss this time for Flow is the Key to comprise a Team NoName. Their opponents though. On the top right side of this map, we got the yellow Zerg Papibski and the blue Terran Xenos. HD Gaming at your service. So here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. Heavy Artillery LE this time. This map actually played quite a good amount in the dual meets. Pretty popular one. You have a safer natural there for a single player. You have a very safe back expansion for a single player. And whoever takes this expansion, then you know that they are the tip of the spear. They are the front of the line, and they're going to be trying to defend as much as they can against the combined forces of the other side. Mineral field here, similar to Zen LE, gonna be getting in the way, and it's just basically a straight shot if you do mind these things out. But for now, Flow is the Key, being pesky, want to break down the supply depot. Xenos though, already setting this one up and gonna be looking to just get in the way in the first place. Trying to prevent that intel. Spawning pool and hatchery being built here by Papibski already, and he's taking that expansion in behind. Now, for personally, I don't know if everyone agrees with me there, but when you take the expansion here as the Zerg, you aren't going to be creeping forward, but you're creeping backward instead. Against, of course, a Protoss or a Terran on the other side, it would be better for you to play the aggressive angle instead, but I get why you give Papibski the Zerg base here. Not only does he get the expansion faster and safer, but also he's the one who controls the creep on their side. He can really spread it as much as he would like and prevent Nux from using it to the same way. But Nux right now gonna be playing the aggression instead. And this is what I was talking about. This is gonna be Nux taking the more forward expansion. He doesn't want to take the base here though, because that will give now creep for Papibski to use. And it's a great little mind game that you have to take notice in a ZVZ matchup in general. In 1v1, you creep up till from where you can control until where your main base really starts. And any other composition in any other matchup, you just creep till you can't creep any longer. For now though, it's gonna be Adepts here from Flow is the Key. He has 2 of these gateways. He is gonna be getting the Adepts for our starting defensive units. And Warp Gate Research gonna be standard here and now from our Protoss. In the meantime, what's the plan here for Xenos? He's gotten that single racks already. He's going to be having that factory as well. And nothing very cheeky right now happening. It's a standard 1-1-1 here from Xenos. He does go for the expansion first before the starport, but it's pretty much everything set and done here for our Terran. Papibski though, deciding to be the tip of the spear here instead. And we'll see until where this man is going to be willing to creep up. Xenos gonna be ready to help out if ever on the other side. In the meantime though, here we have it. Flow is the Key. Getting to Wild Council, getting the Robo facility as well. And of course, seeing where you actually put your expansion really depends on where you start things off. You don't really want to go for a cross with your teammate, even if it might be a bit more optimal in that way, because it really just gets in the way of whatever urban planning you were trying to do in the first place. And apparently, the first place here for the side of Flow is the Key will be that glaive opening instead. So we'll see what the Adepts can do right here, right now. Chrono Boost gonna be used on up to get as many of this efficiency as possible. In any case though, Lerts are gonna be into play, and a quiet start here between Xenos Papibski and Flow is the Key and Nux. A while ago we were seeing a bit of the poke and the prod, just trying to get in the way itself, but for now, Xenos is the one fortifying everything, making the Great Wall of Supply depots to now get in the way as well. And it seems like this is gonna be Siege Tank already blowing up that lone Scarring Zergling, who didn't really deserve it. Poor Zergling. Anyway though, at the very least, Xenos is taking a very proactive way to go about things. Not only does he get that initial siege tank up, he also goes for the Viking to snipe down some overlords as well. This is going to put a bit of a damper here to whatever Nux is planning right now, because he will get supply block bit by bit. If he doesn't have the larva ready, then he's gonna get supply block a bit further, but Nux actually gonna be looking to mine out the ramp instead. Here comes the aggression right now from Nux, and Flow is the Key. They're gonna be looking to march on forward as of yet, and the Ravager Cocoon looking to morph on in as well. In the meantime though, These Zerglings running amok. What is going to be planned here for Xenos? Raven for the defensive. A lot of aggression right now here from Nux. He's looking to really just seal this one with a chef's kiss. As Flow is the key, really committing on that one base setup, now finally getting a second, but has only 28 workers in this game. In the meantime though, War Prism getting those reinforcements, and here we are at it. These Adepts might be able to just destroy everything along the way. And here we go with the Shades already marching on forward. Question is though, how will Xenos respond? The Siege Tank set up really, really well. But there we go with Floki right now, going for the surrounds. But no, the Banelings will destroy them immediately. And goodbye to whatever our Protoss wanted to do. Papinski right now moving over to the south side as well, using the wall of Zerglings to defend. And what a hold there from HD Gaming. As soon as the Adepts got in position, the Banelings were there to really pop that bubble. And immediately from a 2v2, this becomes a 2v1 in this clash. Hey, goodbye to whatever the Adepts wanted to do into that main line. But at the very least, it's a great snipe here onto the middle lines instead of Xenos. Nuxo still waiting on the other side. How will they respond though, as the workers are getting torn apart there by the Shades? Yet again, these are Adepts right now moving over to the other base. But Papimski right now looking for this round instead. Baneling Nest gonna be set up here. Not gonna get sniped up whatsoever. These are the Shades though, trying to get all the way, minimizing the DPS there from the Zerglings by hiding in the middle of the middle lines. But besides that, that is going to be the Siege Tank getting retribution and looking for the takedown. Hero Adept though. This is just this one Adept looking to do everything and more. 8 kills before she falls. But besides that, a great hold still from HD Gaming. Those Banelings, man, oh man. Absolutely well played there. Good salvage though from Flo is the key, but it's just not enough. And now Papimski takes control of the air. Getting that Spire online, and might not be able to get mitigated whatsoever. These are the Mutas hunting around every little bit of Xenos' force. And these Zerglings right now hiding on the north side instead. There's no opening here onto the western side of the map, on the northern side of the map as well. It's all about playing into the ramp, and Papinski is the one trying to really take advantage of what Nux has done on heavy artillery. The open up there really allows a straight line assault here from HD Gaming, and immediately the Mutas are there as well. That's all about the harassment right now. Here comes this round as well. Papinski right now trying to put a damper, trying to put in the hurt, and this is just such a well-timed assault here from our Zerg force. This is Papinski knocking onto the door and saying, you guys were the ones who were trying to knock down my door a while ago, weren't you? And as soon as that happened, the Banelings were such a last surprise. This time though, it's more and more Mutas, and this just might be it for Flow is the key. Probes right now getting torn apart. Some Stalkers are there to try and reinforce, but as Xenos gets in position, the anti-armor will crack down whatever the Roaches want to do right now, and these Mutas can take advantage as well as the Marine Force already out in front. This is just gonna be Papinski getting some free DPS up in the air. We have Nux right now pulling the Queens to try and get a bit of that damage onto the anti-air's assault, but no, it's not gonna be enough. Nux and Flow is the key. We'll tap out there, and HD Gaming will tie it up 1-1. Another good one here between HD Gaming and Team NoName. We are all tied up, ladies and gentlemen, so a 1-1 scoreline. And you already know that this set is ridiculous. The talent here from these two teams, so very matched, but so very stellar. You'd think Nux can be able to dominate the game like this, but then suddenly Papimski answers back in the clutch. Xenos helping out as well there, and heavy artillery. Great setup there from Xenos from the start. He had the Siege Tank ready to go. He had the Vikings to slow down whatever Nux wanted to build. And from then on, he was just pretty much the bait, and Papinski was the one who pulled the trigger on Flow as the keys, Adepts there. I know, man. It looked pretty dire there for HD Gaming, but with that comeback play, they were able to survive. For now, though, we are going to be getting into our last map, and this one is going to be Polka L8 to wrap it up. Rhoskallian going in favor of Team NoName. Heavy artillery taken there by HD Gaming. Question is, who will get this last map? It's time for us to get into our final game of the night. Whoever wins this will move on to the grand finals tomorrow against Team Clement Rainer. On the other hand, whoever loses this still in a battle for third place. 4,000 pesos on the line, as well as 70k, I believe, Razor Silver. It's going to be a great one here in the dual meets number 2. But now it's time to get into one final game, and let's see if it doesn't disappoint. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. We are back into the action. Always good to have StarCraft 2 in our local scene. Always a pleasure to be getting into a game like this. But this one is still the same old thing. HD Gaming versus Team NoName. And introducing first, Map 1 winners Team NoName on the southeast side. It's a red Zerg Nux. And apparently, Flow is the key, changing back its color to the teal Protoss. Maybe he's saying that purple color was unlucky, and now we're gonna be doing something a bit different instead by changing it up. In the meantime though, here on the top left, we got your defending champions, HD Gaming, the yellow Zerg, Papibski, and the blue Terran, Xenos. Sudden death time here, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time to see who will move on to the grand finals. Can HD Gaming defend their crown again and become a potential two-time champion? Or will we see Team NoName pull off, well, the expectations being thrust on them? Look at these rosters, look at these lineups, look at these races. You already know that these are some of the best that you can really see in the StarCraft PH scene. In any case though, Flow is the key. Putting a pylon. Just being an absolute butthead, an absolute ass against Xenos here and now. A while ago, he did put in a simulator there in map number 1, hurting the Reaper rush from Xenos. This time preventing an early add-on if ever, and also prevents the supply depot there. For the time being, Xenos gonna be going for the expansion, and honestly, Floki just being really, really pesky so far. For some reason though, we're getting a lot of pings here on the left side because Floki apparently putting this ninja pylon, looking to play the proxy instead. Big surprise if ever it doesn't get scouted by Team HD Gaming right now. And apparently Floki, he does it again. Come on, bro. Why do you gotta disrespect Team HD Gaming like that again? This is gonna be Floki though, not gonna get the same amount of results because, well, our Zerg doesn't really need that gas as of yet. He's getting that expansion up and running, it's already set on up, and in the meantime, Xenos with some good Reaper control being a big pest and forcing these Zerglings to stay in their lanes and stay at home instead. Overall though, 2 bases already up and running here for our Zerg players, and we have a second base up and running for Xenos as well in just a bit. But Papibski, he wants to take this to the next level. He wants to ascend to a different plane of economy. And he's going for that third base down below as well. But as soon as that happens, Nox is like, okay, are you really doing that? Is that what the case is? Might as well do that thing as well. Now, they don't have vision of that, but it's pretty much an instinct thing by this point. These players really have to understand how these build orders still work, even in a 2v2 setup. And when you expect that your opponent doesn't really have anything, they might be doing something that you would think to do as well. So it's interesting, right? It's more of a... It's not really a guessing game, but it's more of just understanding how the matchups works and understanding what your game is all about. So Nux is going to be going for that third hatchery. Obviously, all of these players knowing so much better when they're on the field right now. And they're the ones who've been practicing every little bit of their build orders, every little bit of their micro and their macro, and looking to impress every single person that watches their games. For now, though, here we go again with Papibski. A while ago, this Banelingness was the biggest and baddest thing that he could have gotten for the game. And he really did so with great results. In the meantime, though, Floki, Proxy Stargate. And there we go with the Oracle's gonna be into play as well. Speaking of that one, the first Oracle is already there. Pulsar Beam just melting down whatever Papibski has. And these drones getting torn apart at the scenes. This is the Queen though, getting some DPS. 6 kills though for the Oracle, trying to get on the way. But the Viking will say hello and say goodbye to the green ball that floats around. Good kills though from Floki so far. And he might be able to do it again. Great position now for Papibski. He does have this Overlord in the way if ever. And here we go with Floki, looking to do take 2. Xenos though, hunting on around for Overlords again. A while ago, a big component of success there for the side of HD Gaming. Now though, they still need to deal with these Oracles floating on around again and again. Here we go right now with the Pulsar Beam, looking to go for the shutdown here. Papipski getting harassed so very much. And these are the drones forced to get pulled yet again. This main base unable to get the productivity it wants, and in behind, Nux is happy to go for lair tech, to go for more extractors, and to get a bigger and better army in just a bit. So a bit of the macro, a bit of the micro happening here for the side of Team NoName. We have Flo is the key, doing everything he can to harass. Should allow Nux to get the big army and wrap it up with one blow later on. Queens though, gonna be in the mass yet again, gonna be looking to congregate and defend this third base. Good hold here from Nux, a show of force to remember. And Floki right now gonna have a mixed match of units to try and defend his lines as well. For now though, seems like our gateways are going to be reaching into the number of 4 there beside the main nexus point, and a 5th one by the ramp itself. We are also going to get the Twilight Council, so we're seeing some late game tech here from our gateway units in just a bit. Will we see the Stalker route? Will we see the charge lot instead? What kind of comp will Floki expand to after the Stargate opening? Wouldn't be surprised to see the Blink Stalkers though, but Cenos right now answering back with his own harassment. Liberator into play, looking to hamper the Zerg as well. Here comes the Queens though, looking to congregate, and there we have it. This Liberator might not be able to survive. Beautiful transfusions there, and Nux yet again showing his prowess as a doctor, keeping these things alive. And now it is going to be Sinos Papipski saying, okay, let's just go for the macro in behind instead. Anyway though, it's a lot of teamwork here from Papipski and Sinos and Nux and Floki. These two teams absolutely critical to the success of the 2v2 scene. And in all honesty, they've really showed up so many times in this tournament. For now, as Nux trying to get this fort base up and running, one lone Zergling, the little Zergling that could, trying to be a bother, but doesn't really get anything done there. In terms of our buildings though, in terms of our units, we are going to see the Hydra Den here for Papipski. He already goes for the infestation bit and is going straight into Hive Tech. This must mean he's going for lurkers. This must mean that he will be going to get all the upgrades he can and more to play that ground-based composition. But in the meantime, Nux taking the other route. When you go for the Hydras, you're taking the ground-based gameplay. But if you want to go into the skies, then look no further than the Muta Ball instead. 3-base Muta, even becoming a 4-base Muta kind of setup instead. Blue Flame though here for Cenos, wanting to go for the mech playstyle this time, and a bit of a gamble indeed. Now Cenos is a great mech player as well, but the problem right now is Bayard really just beats out mech multiple times. We'll find out though, as that is going to be the Vikings surrounded by the Mutas, and here comes the hunt here, courtesy of Nux. Papipski's Overlord gonna get spotted. Here comes Nux on the prowl as well, and the hunt gonna be on yet again. Moving on the round, looking for harassment. Best thing Nux can do right now is avoid the Marines as soon as possible. But case in point, Cenos setting up with the missile turrets as well. It's all about covering this side of the map with anti-air, and that is gonna be a plan of action here against Nux. This is Nux though, still not looking to relent. A lot of control though, courtesy of Team NoName because of the composition of choice right now. And HD Gaming is forced to play in their lanes instead. Good snipe though onto the Queen already, but Pimsky gonna be losing that one. Nux helping out on DPS as well, but here comes the Heliots, here comes the Zerglings, and the Siege Snack setting on over. But Floki with a blink on back instead. We were talking about what the Twilight Council was gonna do, and the blink is just the right choice to get away in time. No heavy losses here for both sides, but HD Gaming saying, get off my lawn, and you are going to be looking at a big army on their side. Numbers and numbers, 76 workers here from Nux, really showing his prowess on the macro side. Has to be one of the best players on the macro department in the SCA scene, and you can really see he's climbing on that work count, almost getting to the number that he would be optimal. Papipski though losing out on Overlords yet again. These Mutas are on the hunt, and we'll see if the Yellow Zerg can actually come on back here. And now Nux though really proving what he can do on that Terran and this mech-based army. As we said, a big gamble, but the Thors are coming in as soon as possible. Nux though has no fear. You can really see there's so much confidence courtesy of Team NoName because they're expanding forward. They're even gonna be taking this base all the way in the middle of the map. Sure, you can say that Nux is also taking a safety base on the southwest side, but this is just gonna be a big staging point here for Nux. As soon as he is ready to pounce yet again, he's just gonna have so much in the back. As Cenos right now looking to tear apart those Mutas up in the air. It's good micro there from Nux to keep them alive. But the Thor shows up. And if you leave your Mutable alone against a Thor, they will disappear in a blink of the eye. Speaking of the blink though, apparently the middle field has been mined out already. And Floki gonna be blinking on the way. There we go, doing a stasis. It's a good catch on a number of Zerglings. But the problem here, it gets in the way of both sides. Now you have a new wall in the way. These are the Zerglings invulnerable to everything else. And the Hydra, who's too eager to go for the fights, gonna get taken down easily. The waiting game happening, and Papivsky looking to keep these Zerglings alive to try and back on the way. Mutas though on the left-hand side, and immediately to the main base we go. Now the problem there for Nux is he doesn't have too much time to do this, but he has a lot of Mutas, and he's really maxed out on that armor count. Going for the shots here and there, trying to tear these workers apart, doing the damage that needs to be done, and Papivsky right now still holding on to the front line instead. Who will answer back against these Mutas? They're tearing up everything here onto the main base, but here comes the anti-armor, forcing Nux on the way. One burst there from the Thor might be able to shut down this force, but no, it's not gonna happen. Micro again here from Nux to really save the day, and this scouting barracks not gonna get anything. Papivsky though looking to chase down whatever is left. Just the tandems here doing all they can and more to help each other out, but Nux saying let's roll on in and let's just break everything along the way. Hydra's gonna get left behind trying to be bait, but Nux is ready to blow up a middle field, and he goes for the hatchery first and foremost, chasing after the drones as well. Pretty good damage in all things considered, because Nux is in such a big lead right now. 90 workers compared to 36 for Papivsky. He can throw everything he has onto that hatchery and still come up ahead, and he's just gonna do it again. So much here for Nux to work with, and you can really see why he is such a worthy contender to the crown of that PH scene. But in the meantime, Floki onto the east side. He's gonna be blinking on the way, but we still have Xenos catching him along the way. Xenos right now on the hunt, ready to march, and these army transformers rolling on in. We got the Thors, we got the Siege Tanks, we got the Hellbats, and you already know it's a great deal to remember. But as this is all happening, it's just so much harassment here from Nux. These Hydras need to go for the pincer, they need to get the catch, or they're gonna be in trouble. While this is happening though, Floki right now harassing the outermost expansions here of Xenos, as Xenos decide to march on forward instead. It's a big army courtesy of our Blue Terran so far, and he wants to hunt whatever is there that he can trample on along the way. Robes though gonna get torn apart at the seams. Here comes Xenos knocking on the doorstep of both Nux and Floki. It's a maxed out army state right now. Papivsky taking care of that outermost expansion of Nux. Xenos losing an expansion here as well. And for now, these are gonna be the mech units having a little bit of a break because there's action everywhere. Nux answering back against the yellow Zerg. Fights in the funnel, and it's gonna be a battle of Thermopylae happening here. But the Banelings are coming in again, and already they're just tearing everything apart. The acid is just melting down these units to the bone, and you can see that for Nux, he's gonna be there again. Xenos having to retreat after everything is said and done, but this is the worst case here for HD Gaming. There is no fast way for Xenos to come back with all those forces. He can't really commit right now, and this is just gonna be a lot of damage being done by Nux and Floki. These stalkers already into the main base, and this just might be it here. Team NoName getting the advantage, getting the one-up against HD Gaming right now, but we'll see what Xenos can do, because his army ready to go. Papivsky has been crippled, basically a 2v1 by this point, and Nux right now gonna be backing on the way instead because of the anti-armor. Hydras are there though, one-way trip right now for these stalkers. They're looking for the last stand. Recall is there, but for everyone else left behind, it's all up to them to get a bit more damage. These stalkers though just marching in just to die, but there you go. So many losses along the way. We see Xenos. There's just a scar happening into how that main base assault happened, courtesy of Floki. And there you go. Nux with all the cleanup in the world and more. This Muta Bane here from Nux. Really looking so very good. Hey, Xenos doesn't want to give up. Still a big army from this guy. Almost no workers here for both sides though. And one last fight from HD Gaming. You know, when HD first came out, it was revolutionary. But now, we're getting Ultra HD, we're getting 4K, we're getting 3D, we're getting VR. And we're gonna be seeing these Banelings march on and bust everything down again. Stalkers gonna blink on forward. A little too eager though. And you still have to respect what Xenos has in front. These Banelings, they're good against whatever Papivsky has, but not against our Terran. So they have to be a bit more careful because the loss is mounting up and really piling on against Floki right now. Last ditch effort though from Xenos. And if they're gonna lose, They're gonna lose in style. Here we go again. But you know what's coming here? The Hive Tech is ready from Nux. And not only are we gonna get some extra armor, not only are we gonna get +3, not only are we gonna get Adrenal Glands, but the Elephants are coming. And as soon as those ultras happen, you can really see the difference. For Nux, it's only a matter of time for this win. He's stalling a bit more. He's making sure that Papivsky and Skinos have to stay in their lanes. You gotta commend though what Papivsky has. He has the Swine's upgrade there for our lurkers. He has the Viper there as well. And right now, it's a good zone here from Skinos. Flow is the key, cannot just march these things into the siege tanks or he's gonna be taking some heavy damage. SCVs brought along as well to repair everything along the way. And for now, fortifications here for Team HD. By the time the Doomsday Clock, it is ticking on down. These ultras are gonna be marching, and here we go. The power of 2 is looking at Skinos and saying, let me spit on those metal carcasses you call tanks, as these are the ultras out in front. Colossi gonna be there as well. Good fortifications though, still with the siege tanks and the lurkers. But this is all you wrote. Skinos and Papivsky, they are rooted to wherever they are. And there is just no way for them to move anymore. It's been a great run between HD Gaming as well as Team NoName, but for now, they are running out of space to work with. All Skinos and Papivsky have here is this small little island, and they will need a miracle and a half to win this game. But that miracle looking absolutely astronomically so minuscule that you can't even see it, because right now all I see is Floki is almost maxed out. Nux gonna be doing the same thing. He is gonna be pinging on around though, and these are these Zerglings looking to hunt for whatever is there. So much basis right now for Team NoName, and these guys making a name for themselves and more. They're trying to be low-key about it, that we're oh so great, and they're just so exceptional right now from what we've seen in this 2v2. It really feels like for Clem and Raynor, their work gonna be cut out for them from what we've been seeing from Team NoName so far. These two teams were the favorites into the bracket coming into the tournament, but for now, we can really see for the side of Team NoName, they just have the cut above the rest of the field. It's been a great run from HD Gaming. It's been a great run from Skinos and Papivsky. They had some really good games, especially from Dual Meet #1. But now, it's just a matter of respect here. It really feels like for Nux and Floki, they just want to beat this one fortification one last time, and that is gonna be the end of everything. The Ultra looking to march on forward. It will stop immediately in its tracks because the Lurk is on the left side answering back. But the big massive units here gonna be looking to go for the push again. And guys, don't forget, tomorrow, Grand Finals, we got the 3rd place matchup, and we also have the Grand Finals matchup itself. That's a best of 5 happening there. It starts at 2 p.m., but this is the start of Team NoName's assault, and this is gonna be a wipeout happening indeed. Floki and Nux will move on to the Grand Finals as Team HD Gaming will call it there. A great run indeed, but they will have to battle for 3rd as it is Team NoName versus Clem and Raynor for tomorrow's Grand Finals. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Game was done as soon as the attack happened from Team NoName. But my oh my, a good way to wrap it up. GG, well played to both teams. An incredible effort there from HD Gaming. Could have really gone either way, but in all honesty, you can really see Nux just having such a big difference there. His macro so on point. And even we have the Siege Tanks Lurkers there from HD Gaming. There was no way for them to really move. As soon as one would uproot, they would see that coming. Like, Team NoName would immediately pounce on Lurkers, on Siege Tanks moving on around. And you could really say that they were just rooted there. The game was over as soon as the mech forces had to come on back. And really just the harassment against whatever Papivsky had to do. Nux was truly looking for that weak link, was looking for that small opening, and he found it on the left side of the map. The Mutas just running rampant, mining out those minerals as well. The Oracles showing up, getting the stasis wards, getting the harassment there, and you can really see the difference overall. Great effort to go for that pressure point by Team NoName, and they just won it out. So there you go, guys. Rhoskallian and Polka both go in favor of Team NoName to take this series 2-1. A great effort there from HD Gaming to win out heavy artillery. and this was a finals worthy matchup. Many probably expected this to be the finals itself, but since they were on the same side of brackets, then the semifinals is where they meet, and only one can ascend, and it is Team No Name. So for tomorrow's matchups, we have HD Gaming versus Team Cube, and then it will be Team No Name versus Team Clem and Rainer. Great matchups, great players in all of them. So from everyone you saw today, you'll still see them tomorrow. I cannot wait to get into that one. It'll be live in the afternoon at 2 p.m. And this has been the semifinals of the SCPH Dual Meet number 2, guys. But anyway, it is a great night for StarCraft every single night, and we saw how amazing those matchups can be. So I'll post these VODs probably tomorrow just to really have some parity there. But that was just such a good one. Gotta give my thanks to Team Cube, to Team Clement Rainer, to Team HD Gaming, and to Team No Name for giving us these great sets and giving us their day tomorrow. It is the last day of the member, and it'll be the last day of the dual meet number 2. So if you guys haven't joined the giveaway yet, you gotta check out DLS Missile page. Everything is there. We've been giving out the codes for quite a while already, and I believe overall it is DSL Missile 11PP for everything we've gotten so far. Tomorrow, our last code will be given out as well during the grand finals, and then you can finally be eligible to win out not only the headset there, but also the 1,000 pesos in Gcash or BDO. Great offerings, courtesy of our sponsors, great offerings thanks to our organizers, and we really gotta give a shout out to everyone who supported the scene so far. Not only the players as well as the spectators, but also for ROG, Razor, Ascend, Mogul, Block 101, DLS Missile, Ice Boy Productions, and Pure PC. I thank you guys for tonight. It has been a great one, especially that last semifinal, and who knows what to expect for tomorrow's grand finals. It's going to be a great afternoon of StarCraft 2 yet again, and I've been Daks. Thank you guys for tuning on in here at twitch.tv/DaksPH, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last pass of the SCPH Dual Meets number 2.